and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. Today is Monday, July 23rd, and this is episode 22, okay? Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel. You can find me on Ravelry and Plurk. I'm there, virtually, internet-y wise. Say howdy. I'll say howdy back. Bring me up, yo. Then I can look at all your cool stuff and be like, oh my god, I want to make that too. Oh, maybe you shouldn't friend me up. Oh, there's so much good stuff to make. People keep making good patterns. What is happening? Really, people? It's out of control. Anyway. But I am there. If you would like to contact me, please feel free to do so. Thank yous to Jerry, Hillary, and Sarah for donating their real life, actual hard-earned dollars to the show. Thank you, ladies. It's much appreciated. I did, in fact, find out that you can donate $1.25 to the show. What up? It's totally appreciated. I apologize if my energy is a little today. I mean, more so than normal. I've had little people in the house all day, so I'm a little bit like, I love the little people. They're all wonderful and magical and creative and genius-y style children's, who I love with my heart. But they're children, and they're blood-sucking energy hogs. Love them, but, let's be honest, people. Anywho. So I do apologize if I'm a little bit like, and a little bit more scatterbrained even than the normal. Is it possible? Maybe. I think we're all going to find out. It is totally possible, by the way. Anywho. So thank you to anybody who's written an iTunes review or left a star rating. Please feel free to do so for me or your other favoriteest podcaster. It's much appreciated. Helps move us up in the queues so that when folks are looking for new podcasts and they don't really know how to find them, because I was that folk 6 months ago. Look at the world. It helps to push us up into the games and hobbies queue so that, you don't just find all of the woodworking podcasts. I'm sure there's a woodworking podcaster right now being like, what's up with all these knitting podcasts? So I get it. We're all crazy, obviously. But, just so that they can find the other knitting podcasters. Much appreciated. You may hear an ice cream truck. I don't know if that'll come through, but hope you want ice cream now, because I do. Dang it. But not from an ice cream truck. Anywho, okay, so I have lots to talk about. Well, not really. That's a big fat lie. I don't have that much to talk about. It will be a shorter episode. Last time I was a little Jabberjaws 5000. Shut up. I know, right? So today will be a shorter episode. I've been so monogamous. It's out of control. So I don't have a whole bunch to show you. You're going to be like, dude, we so saw that already. And I'll be like, I know, dude. And then you'll be like, And I'll be like, But maybe next week. But anyway. Other things to talk about. Okay. Local Cal. Totally going on. I have changed my mind. It will go from September 1st to October 14th. It can be any project as long as it's knit with your local yarn. Now, people are like, I don't have local yarn. I get it. We don't all have local yarn. It's totally kosher, man. It's okay. This is what I would like you to do, though. If this is you, start looking here. So start looking local. Somebody was in a small town, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name now. But somebody said she's in a small town in Tennessee and was all like, I'm not going to be able to find local yarn. But she's like, but I did see a farm as I was driving around. It did say it had yarn or fleece or something. So I called them, and they were all like, I will arrange a private viewing of our yarn. That's what I'm talking about. That's so cool. So start here. Then go here. Nothing here. Go out here. Nothing here. Go out here. Okay, now this is your country that you live in. Don't go out here. At least stay in your country. Unless, like, you're in the Vatican City. Then I'll allow Italy. No problems. I so want somebody in the Vatican City to be watching this show. That would be so awesome. Okay, so anyway, so if this is your country, don't go here. At least stay in your country. Region is great. Local is awesome. But whatever. No pressure. I don't want anybody to freak out. I'm just saying this is a great opportunity for us to all do some research and see what's out there. Because sometimes it's not something we're just motivated to do. Because we're like, whatever. I got this beautiful stuff at my local yarn store, yo. And I'm like, I know, yo. But, just seek it out. Look it out. You'll totally make some small farmer's day. I kid you not. Oh, and by the way, while you're there, mention to them Etsy. Now, some of them might be like, dude, I am not interested in Etsy. I don't like the internets. I roll this way. And you'd be like, gotcha. I found where you were rolling. It's cool. But mention Etsy, because some of them just don't even know it exists. A lot of people don't know what Etsy. I know, we're all like, what? Because we watch podcasts and that's all we talk about because we're a bunch of crackheads. But there are a lot of people that don't even know that Etsy exists, especially small farmers. So, just put it out there. I don't know how successful it is for a small farmer to pimp their stuff out on Etsy for locally, small batch mill produced yarns. But I have bought that yarn. So somebody's buying it. Put it out there. Put it in their universe. Just let them be like, or no, or ooh, something like that will happen. So I'll try not to mention it too much because you'll all be like, we already know, we're not even playing with you this time. And I'll be like, and you'll think okay, that won't be good. But September 1st, October 14th, anything you want to knit, crochet, or weave, all Ravelry endorsed crafting, made of as locally as possible fiber. I think that's it. 1 entry per human being, please. We're not even close, but just FYI. Okay. So that's that. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, because we're kind of talking about local yarn a little bit. Laura Linneman. I punch you in the face. With love. Maybe. But no, really. Laura of the Knit Girls fame, Lala Designs, and all that stuff. Totally heard that we're doing local Cal, and she's all like, hey, by the way, do you know that Deb Robson, did I say that right? Yeah, Deborah Robson, who likes to go by Deb, I think, from what she says in her free crafting class. Anyway, spoiler alert. Lala was all, do you know that she has this class out on Craftsy and it's totally free? Or at least it was free when I signed up. And I was all like, what? It's totally free still. I just checked. It's still free. It's free. Craftsy.com. If you haven't heard about it, please remove yourself from underneath that rock. We all like to see you around. Get some sun. It's good. Craftsy.com. They're offering several free classes. The lovely Carolyn also mentioned that they are doing a short rows class, which I've signed up for but haven't watched yet. This is the Know Your Wool class with Deb Robson of Fleece and Fiber Source fame. Kid you not. Expertise in the house, people. It was a total of about a little less than 90 minutes, and it's in, I think, 5 sections. So it's totally bite-sized pieces. All you have to do is sign up on Craftsy. You don't have to sell them your soul or give them the social security number or anything crazy like that. Use fake email. I don't care. Well, not fake, but don't use your primary if you're worried about them. But why would you be worried about them? They'll just send you information about good classes. So anyway, it is, you sign up for it. You can watch it at any time. It is streaming. It is not downloadable. I will say that I was a little nervous about their classes because I have a kind of slow internet speed. Actually, it's quite slow because we're cheap. Okay. So I was a little worried about the streaming class. It's fine for me, and I have very slow internets. So I can stream it with no problems. So I would imagine all other humans that are not on dial-up, if that even exists still, could probably watch it very easily. And it was very worth free. It was worth way more than free, people. Okay, so if you listen to the Knit Girls, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about this. I know Laura already talked about it last week because she's brilliant and fabulous, and I give all the credit to her for finding it. But I also want to talk about it just in case you haven't caught up with their episode yet, or you don't realize that you should have already watched it, because I will tell you again. Okay, watch it. So awesome. Okay, now, people who are not spinners are all like, whatever, I so do not care about the different kinds of sheep. And I'm all like, shut your faces! You should! Okay, I don't care if you care or not, but I care. So the class is all about It's called Know Your Wool, people. It's all about wool. So there's parts of it, but it is not geared for spinners. It is geared towards knitters, very specifically geared towards knitters. So if you're not a knitter, if you're not a spinner, don't freak out. It's still very valuable information, and it's free. I don't know if I said that. So she talks a lot about different kinds of wool, but she also she touches on this in the show, but she also talks about in her book with her co-editor, whose name I can't remember. Sorry, co-editor of hers. But she talks about specific breeds of sheep as, like heirlooms in a sense. We all have heard about heirloom vegetables and how we are having like monocultures in certain crops. And that's very bad ecologically. It's very dangerous for our food sources and therefore our fiber sources. If every sheep in the world is a merino and something happens to the merinos and they become susceptible to some strange disease and they all die, guess what? No wool. Alarm. Be afraid. I'm telling you the sky's falling. Just FYI. Not really, because there's lots of other breeds out there, but don't let that happen. You can tell it makes me very nervous. Monocultures freak me out. Anyway. So, she talks about that and how it's very important to have breed diversity for several different things. The breeds were... Okay, I won't even talk about it because you're going to be like, shut up, I can just watch her class and she's an expert and you're not, so I won't. But it's very interesting. Trying to decide how much more I should say. Can you tell that? This is my brain thinking for a second. But I find that information to be very, very helpful. I will also say that I was not a spinner when I bought her book. It made me want to be a spinner. So if you really don't want to be a spinner, maybe you shouldn't learn this information. But why would you not want to learn information? That would just be crazy. But this is the other interesting thing that happened to me when I was watching the course. Okay, I originally got her book from the library because I like to do that. I like to check all my books out from the library before I actually commit to buying them, if at all possible. Sometimes our library doesn't get the book. That's fine. I might risk it. But I usually like to check it out from the library first to do a little preview and then buy it. So I did that and I loved it and asked for it for a Christmas gift from my dear husband who got it for me. Thanks, dear husband. And literally before it was even mine, I had such an emotional connection with the book. You're like, dude, this is nonfiction and it's about sheep. I don't even care. It's true. Like, it moved me to like that welly feeling where you're like, humanity and the world are beautiful and the stars are all happening and it was that kind of thing. Like, I think I said at the boards or something that like I don't cry at movies. I don't cry. I'm not a weller usually. Sometimes things happen. But this book made me cry and this video made me cry. Not like but like things are so beautiful. It did that. So I was really touched on a seriously deep level about it. And you probably will watch it and be like, dude, that girl she ain't even bent. She broke. That's a legitimate decision. But it moves me in such a deep way. I had this beautiful moment where I was spinning something and I was watching the video at the beautiful Deborah Robson, and she's so brilliant and she's very beautiful and she has these great hands. Her hands are awesome. She's got those beautiful, like, very strong yet thin. The knuckles are a little bigger. She has beautiful hands. I love her hands. My daughter was working on some like crazy intense marble maze that she was really focused on what she was doing, to the point where she got so hot by thinking that she had to take her shirt off. So she was like shirtless working on a marble maze, and I was spinning and watching Deb, and I was just like, oh, the world is so magical and wonderful. It's like that. It's great. So anyway, I highly recommend it. Just a little bit. And now I'll move on, even though I would probably talk about it longer. But you're gonna not like me if I do. Anyway. Okay, I think that's all the schmiggity boop. Let's move on to the knitting. Okay, I will show you this. I've talked about this briefly. This has been my car knitting, so it's like got no progress. But I've never showed it to you, so I will go ahead and do that now. I made the basic ribbed Skype sock, and I apologize. I don't remember who that was, and I don't think I actually have the pattern here. No, not at all. So I made that out of a local to Michigan fiber. Yo. That's localish to me. I'm in Indiana. That's a bordering state. That's totally local. So I made it out of like a light sport sock. And so now I'm doing one, and that one was top down because that's how the pattern's written. And before I finished that one, I started this one just toe up. This is definitely fingering to light fingering Sock Ease by Lion Brand. This is their color rock candy, I think. I could be lying. I can't find it because I'm evidently simple. In my head, rock candy. So this is just the same simple basic ribbed Skype, something like that. I'm so sorry. You know what I mean. Everybody's done it. I've done it. Look at the other show notes. I'll put it down there. That yellow is hard for the camera to understand. It's not really lighting. It's just that's hard for the camera to know what's happening there. It's a gray with like a very dark gray purple with a charcoal and this like kind of weird limey pop. Oh, that's easier for it to understand. So yeah, totally enjoyable. This was my car knitting, and then some child, whom I love, stepped on my bag. It's my fault. I shouldn't have had it on the ground. But these were my my knit picks. Oh, and it's even the wrong needle that broke. Darn it. If it had been the other one, it would have been easier, but oh well. These were Knit Picks size zeros, but these were the Harmony Woods. This is a very delicate. This was not Knit Picks' fault in any way. Let me be very clear. It just broke right off at the join. But this is this is a toothpick, people. So they were very good until they broke. But again, not Knit Picks' fault, just life. So that's that. I don't know. I might do that. I'll have to put a gusset in it. I don't want to. Because I would love it to be mindless and so excitingly, wonderfully mindless that I could just do it and not have to think about that until afterwards. But I think I will have to put a gusset in it because I got a big old foot. Okay. Okay, now we're on to things you've already seen. Okay. Oh, I should put this on a bigger needle for y'all. I'm sorry, yo. This is the Shaylin shawl, which was gifted to me by the lovely Lorraine. This shawl is by Leela Robb, I guess. It is a sport or DK. I think it's a sport weight shawl. Mm-hmm. Mine is a little bit, it might be a DK, I'm not sure. It might be a sport. I think it's a sport. It is written as a triangle. I am making it a 3/4 square, so I just added an additional wedge. I have one more lace repeat, so it's not that exciting for y'all. Okay. I will try to find a point or something to show you what that would look like. Until I just banged myself in the face with the needle. So that's the center increase line. Wait, I can't remember how the camera works. Oh, I'm just holding up yarn for you. It doesn't even make sense. But anyway, I am pleased with it thus far. I have not knit on that all week. I just knitted on it today. I took the children to the park. Very hot still, people. We went to the park at 8:30 in the morning and stayed till 10. And it was still atrociously hot. I know, you're all like, dude, we get it. We heard it. We got it. Or it's the future. It's January. Shush your face. But I can't help it. It's very hot. So I actually haven't worked on that except for today. So I finished a lace repeat and a little bit of the stockinette stripiness. This has been the majority of my knitting time. This is the Abigail by the lovely and prodigious, is that the right word? Prolific. Cecily Glauc McDonald. She's got more patterns out. And one of them is made with Beaver Slide Dry Goods. Which, by the way, thank you all for mentioning it to me. You're so cute. I kiss your faces. So I know, and I was like, I'm not knitting any more worsted weight sweaters. And now the one of them is a worsted weight, and I really like it. I'm all like, maybe I'll fall off the wagon. We'll see. That's my phone ringing. You might hear some messagey happening, but just ignore it. I apologize. So last time I was right before the armhole. I was probably, see, this is where the armhole is. I was probably here, and now I'm here. So I've made good progress on that. I mean, I wish I had made better progress on it, but it's a lot of stockinette, people. And it's not stockinette in the round. And you're like, well, if you hate stockinette so much, why did you even choose that pattern? Um, well, because there's really not a lot of alternatives if you're doing a cardigan in linen. You may be able to steek a cardigan with linen, but I would be hesitant to try because it's very slippery. The beautiful thing about wool is it has grab, and it ultimately, I usually don't even use superwash, so it will ultimately felt. Like once it's steeked, those stitches will be locked in by the grab of the wool and by eventual felting just from normal wear. That just happens. However, this is a slippery slope to, you know. Like even and it's interesting to work with because it's almost wiry. Now it won't be like that after it's washed. Totally forgotten to mention what yarns things are made out of. I did mention the sock. The Shaylin is hand spun. This is Quince and Company Sparrow in the juniper colorway. Excuse me. This softens incredibly after washing, but when you're knitting it for the first time, it is very wiry in its texture. Now I don't mean wiry like ow wiry. It's just stiff. Like the stitches stay like this. So and they're very slippery. So even though I'm using the Harmony wood needles by Knit Picks. Is that right, Harmony? Did I just make that up? I think it's Harmony. Size 3s. They slide off here like nobody's business. They're very slippery. So I would be hesitant to try to steek it. I mean, I'm sure somebody has done it who's just braver than I am, but it seems like it might be a bad idea. I'm sure if you machine sewed it, that would work, but I'm always afraid to do that. Because I'm not very proficient with my machine tension issues, and I think it would be a hot mess. So anyway, I've made decent progress on that. Just boring bits, but hopefully that'll start moving faster, except it won't until I get done with the bottom. Spinning. This is one of the reasons I am I've not been that prolific myself this week. Somebody called me on Monday and asked me to spin a sweater vest's worth of yarn and knit a sweater vest by August 13th. So in less than a month, spin a sweater, and this person is not little, this person is my size. I mean, the person that's going to. Sport weight. And it's also alpaca. Eek. I really was like, are you sure that you want me to knit this out of alpaca? Because as we all know, alpaca has no memory, which means it stretches out of shape quite readily. And it can be kind of a pain if it's not mixed with wool. I don't have a drum carder or any way of mixing this lot of alpaca that I do have into a more usable wool. So I'm kind of like, I'm really hesitant to do it, but I mean, this person has asked for it and I will happily do it. I'm just a little nervous about it. So I've been spinning a lot this week in an attempt to get some sort of progress on that made. So I have actually spun this much singles, which is 17 ounces. So hopefully it will turn out to be sport weight. I would have really liked it on a 3-ply, but really the time was not there at all. And to get a 3-ply to be sport, I'm not that good yet. I just can't consistently get it that thin. So I will try to put my head behind it so you can see it. It's ranging from 32 to 28, maybe 24 for a minute, wraps per inch for the single. So hopefully it'll be a sport weight. I did do the test swatching thing, and the reason I wanted to do the 3-ply was because I watched that plying video and it talked about the qualities of 3-ply, and I thought they might be well suited to this. And I did a 3-ply sample, and I really liked the yarn. But again, I just couldn't get it to sport weight and be at all reasonable. And that would have also increased the amount of singles I would have had to spend by 50%. And on a time crunch. So we'll see how that goes. At one point this week, I totally thought I had a terrible spinning injury. So that's another reason I didn't do that great this week. Is because I took a day off because my finger was all wonky. Like I really like it felt like I had like like it felt like somebody like went like this or something and backed it up in there, like stoved it. I don't even know if that's really what it's called. That's what we called it when I was a kid. It was all stiff and like wonky and weird. So I took a day off because I was really afraid that I had hurt myself. And it was going to be so hard to explain. But I realized last night as I was reading to my child, every night we read stories before bed, and then we play tickle, 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 tickle for a little bit because she's very high energy and it helps her to get that last little bit of steam out so that she can lie down and sleep. So we play tickle, 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 tickle. But, you know, she's only 5, but she's huge. She's like in a size what an 8-year-old wears. So she's like a big kid. Just tall. She's not fat. Don't worry. She's just a big kid. So we tickle, 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 and I think she probably just jacked my finger up. She probably just did something. I didn't realize it at the time, but realized it the next morning when it hurt because I don't think it was actually a spinning injury. So yay! I was so worried. But it's just a mothering injury. That's fine. So I have one more thing to show you. I have some enabling this week. The lovely Jen from Friends in Fiber. I couldn't think for a second. She had also posted on about the local yarn cow that she had some locally to her, New Hampshire, fibers for spinning. And that's not locally to me necessarily. It is my country that counts. But I went and looked at what she had and I had to buy it. Cow. Look at this, people. This is the bag it comes in. How cute is that? Burlap. Shut up. And then it's filled with little sample faces. So this is a Rambouillet Corriedale blend from Inky and Andrea. Love it when they put the names on there. This is a Romney. I really like Romney, by the way. Excuse me. I have a delicate flower. This is a Border Leicester Corriedale Cross from Lillian. So this one is a black. This one is a dark gray. This is like a medium to dark gray. This is Cormo Romney Alpaca blend from Agatha, Martha, and Noble. Oh my gosh. Is Agatha the sheep? I should have asked. God, that's a brilliant sheep name. Agatha. Oh my god, I totally want a sheep named Agatha. And this is an Icelandic alpaca blend. Very light color. And then of course she always sends, because she's so lovely, the little lavender sachet. And she always sends a sample of another. This is her BFL Silk and Canyon Shadows, which it's hard to... Oh, there we go. That's better. And then she also sent me... she sent me an extra sample of Border Leicester because she is so cute and I love her face. Okay, so let me talk about that part first. So, how awesome is that? Can you tell I was so high from that wool class? I was so high. The Know Your Wool class is the worst drug ever. High as a kite, my friend. I get by with a little help from my friends and all those songs about being high, but probably not on natural fibers. So when I saw her ad and had all the natural fibers, and I think she had even knit like a little Fair Isle cap out of it, I was like, oh, foot! I punch you in the face with love again. But so, Manic, buy it. So, I love it. I'm so excited. So I really am on a total cracked out natural fiber high. But then because she is such a lovely human being, she also sent me this. I had so much trouble not already putting it on my car. I was like, I could put it on my car and then take a picture and then put it in there. I wouldn't have done that. Yay! She got this. She had gone to Green Mountain Spinnery, which is in Putney, Vermont, I believe. So they are also another small mill that tries to promote local wools, and they have a lot of products if you haven't seen them yet. Again, it's just Green Mountain Spinnery. And then she also sent me little samples of they're doing some spinning cards. So she sent these. These are theirs specifically that say Friends and Fiber. But she wanted to let you know that she is going to do some that don't have the Friends and Fiber on them. So they would just be like spun with love by or something like that. So it has information or a place for you to put all of your, your colorway, your fiber content, your yards, all that good info. And thank goodness, because quite frankly, I know this is not that hard to do for yourself. Like, you could just write this on a 3x5 card and cut the card in half and stick. I'm useless. I mean to do this every time, and then the yarn fumes hit. And I gotta spend more! So, that's totally all. So, I hope you all have a lovely week. I hope I didn't forget anything. I'm sure I did, but I'll pretend that I didn't. So I hope you all have a lovely week. I know I will. Shut up. Join me on the forums and discussion boards. Oh, I've put a thread up about the local cow. I've put a thread in there so you can put the information that you find, because hopefully it'll be helpful to somebody else. If you would, just in your postings, put your state, at least your state and your region in your country. That way somebody can go, there's a little search bar down there on the bottom. So you could put in Midwest and then pull up all those entries that have Midwest in them, or South, or Southeast, or so anyway, that might be helpful. That's totally not unmanageable right now. There's only like 5 or 6 posts. But it has some information that I put out there about good places to try to find local yarns. And then again, crowdsourcing, it's amazing. And then everybody is putting out their ways that they're trying to find stuff. So it's very helpful if you kind of are overwhelmed and don't really know where to start. Also, Know Your Wool class totally talks about she talks about where to find breed-specific yarns. But those are the same places that you can find local yarns. So she talks a lot about like how to search on Etsy and stuff like that. So if you're not familiar with that, that's a good resource for you as well. I think that's really all, though. Oh! See, totally not all. I actually want to say thank you also to all your lovely faces. I put out some pictures of myself in sweaters on the blog, so on www.thefatsquirrel.com, and so many of you wrote lovely comments, and they were very much appreciated. If you did not check them out, there are pictures of the Goodale, the Emily, and the Halyard sweaters. So if you'd like to see them on a person, I have them on my project page too, but whatevs. If you would like to see them on a person of size, you could totally check that out. Okay. That's technically all. I'm just going to hit the stop button, yo. Hope you have a lovely week. I'll see you next time. Bye.